Human beings tell stories. For 10,000 years, we've been using stories to communicate cultural values, illustrate spiritual principles, and teach our children how to behave. The foundations of Western civilization can be seen in the stories of the ancient Greeks. One of those stories clearly shows the evolution of humanity's relationship with the spiritual world. Prometheus was a titan, an ancient race of supernatural giants who ruled the earth before the time of the gods of Mount Olympus. Being sympathetic to the human race, Prometheus stole the secret of fire from the gods and gave it to mankind. With the discovery of the creation and control of fire, humanity was able to tame the wilds of the night, cook food, control the environment, and hence evolve to the next level of civilizing technology. For his arrogance in sharing the sacred knowledge with such a lowly creature as man, Prometheus was punished by the gods. He was chained to a mountaintop for eternity. Each day, a giant bird would come and peck out his liver. Each night, his liver would grow back so the bird could come and feast on it all over again the next day. Prometheus was an early martyr to the cause of human civilization. He sacrificed himself in order that humanity could have the knowledge of how to create and control a powerful force once reserved for the gods alone. The story is an allegory for hubris, the lesson being that there are things beyond the reach of mere humans, sacred knowledge and understanding reserved for beings on a higher plane. The moral of the story is that man should be wary of asking too many questions or becoming too much like a god himself. This lesson was repeated in various religious stories and texts for thousands of years, through the Greeks and the Romans and other European empires to follow. The message was, stay humble and don't ask too many questions. So when Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press in 1439, there was an uproar among the political and religious leaders of the day. With this new technology, individuals would be able to own and read the Bible independently of religious authority. Leaders warned that this level of personal knowledge of God's Word would be dangerous in the hands of the masses. Just like in the story of Prometheus, the leader of the worldly society warned that human beings should not have too great a personal knowledge of God. The will of God, or the gods, the wisdom of eternity, the power of knowledge, should remain exclusively in the hands of the few, the powerful. There is nothing more universal to the human experience than the search for a connection with the divine. The longing for spiritual union is so powerful that without it, even worldly success will feel empty and hollow. Unfortunately, throughout the entire history of civilization, the powerful worked to separate man from his birthright, his innate sense of spiritual connection, in order to sell that connection back to him for the price of nothing less than his life itself. The angry, jealous, bitter gods of the Greeks have been replaced by other ideas of the divine. In the modern era, many cultures around the world have come to the common belief that God is love. If we truly believe that God is love, can we still hold on to the idea that love doesn't want us to know everything, to understand the true nature of the universe, to gain the scientific and technological knowledge necessary to evolve into the next revolution of spiritual consciousness? A spiteful spirit keeps secrets and separates itself from others. Love, on the other hand, keeps nothing for itself because it knows that everything is a part of itself. If God is love and we are the children of God, then what gifts would love withhold from its own children? Our spiritual culture still clings to a false humility designed to appease the anger of ancient gods that we no longer believe in. By removing these masks and showing the true face of our divinity to each other, we will be showing the Spirit that we are ready for our next evolution, and it will come.